welcome back to the fourth episode of How to Brand from XAXs Corps. I am Aditya, the founder and director of XAXs Corps, and in this episode we will discuss about how to design the branding and the visual identity system of an event management company. So, fellow brands, branding enthusiasts, designers, agencies, etc. Let's begin. And the company in highlight in this episode is DreamKraft Entertainment. They are a company based in India, and their primary presence is in Bihar and Bhubaneswar. Bhubaneswar is also the city that I currently live at, so that's our primary presence as well. And they are a multi-venture company offering a special solution in the field of celebrity management, public relation, production, and mainly in event management. And there are four primary people they are targeting. Colleges where they host their events, the artists, the celebrities they will be collaborating and managing for the events, and the college students who will be primarily attending the events. And that's something we needed to keep in mind for the design thinking for the branding process. As usual, we always start with some shortlisted keywords, and for them it was professional because the past logo they had didn't look professional at all, which is why they wanted to rebrand. This is a rebranding project, and since they're managing events and they have a DIY aesthetic, and since they're managing with artists and all, they have art, and they wanted to look modern and symbolic to compete with the high players like Bhubaneswar, Star Entertainment, etc. And we start with mood board, and in this case we also included some of their competitors who had good branding. For example, Tribe Vibe is a Bhubaneswar enterprise, it's their direct competitor. Then there's Eventos, and these are the branding they look up to, like V365 and Wizcraft are much bigger companies, but they operate in the same sector and they have good branding. So that's what they're focusing on. There are some other collection that we think will go well with it. We started with the exploration. Since the name is DreamKraft, and we wanted to do something with something that can form patterns and excitement, or repetitive thing that has a lot of scalability for various use and even creatives. And in case you hadn't noticed, we shortlisted that kind of creative in the mood board, like this kind of stuff, this kind of repeating patterns. Okay, going back to the exploration, we are focusing with a monochrome, and we're focusing on the latest D and K and circles geometric shapes. So this is the D and this is the K, and there are semicircles. We experimented with this, then replaced K with triangles. Once again, geometric shapes, simplifying it with a border. And so experiments with that basically. These are the kind of patterns that you have to keep in mind. So we just checked it out how to look at patterns, and just the pattern as a whole can work together as a logo. Using full name in the logo, DreamKraft. Then we just check various angles and combinations that goes beyond a D and K and C. Still being having the scope of repetition, scalability, and geometric shapes, simple geometric shapes. And this also gives a face, so a face kind of structure, a smile, and a body kind of thing. This looked a bit too like a face, and then we also focused on K and the play button. Since it's an event, it's a playful thing, so we're focusing on the play of multimedia. and experimented with that, tried using that as a crown. And the client wanted to try something out with stars. In entertainment world, especially in India, stars is a very common element. There's entire channel called the Star Movies. They have an entire family of channels. Then there are many other channels like Z, etc., who also use star as an element, and that's what something they wanted to experiment with. We tried reducing star into various flavored options, something that looks like K. Played with that. Tried using the block-like structures of the star back into this formula, and star. We also tried using star a little bit into the diamond thing and incorporating asterisk, which is also in form of a star. That can give some entertainment. Then we focused on some parts a bit, like since we're going with the star, we tried turning that into a moon to give more feel of the dream thing. For example, there's a dream something company, a popular production house, Dreamline. I'm not remembering the name at the moment, but I guess you know what I mean. And focused on D with the star, or D as a moon itself, and that's something we experimented with. And the direction we went on is a D and a reversed K, forming a box-like structure as a whole. Like this is not forming a perfect box, but this is forming a perfect box, which will look better in a lockup structure. Then we went with the lockup exploration. As I told you, this is what we focused on. This is also something that's shortlisted. This one, and we tried experimentally lockups with all of them, and the lockups with this went much better with this as expected, and so that's what we went with. And this is the logo pictorial mark we went with. The geometry is simple. Sometimes simplicity is better. As I mentioned, we are going at a very colorful logo because they are an event company, and having too many colors is often considered bad for obvious reasons. But when you have colors that go well with each other and colors that have a purpose in the logo, in those cases having colorful logo can work better than even having a monotone or logo with very few colors. So the concept is very simple. It's a D and a K, and they're made for semicircles, and together they form a complete single circle, which gives a feel of wholeness. Something that you expect from events. People often go to event to feel good, wholesome vibe, and that's what we are focusing on. But the colors are mostly focusing on an enthusiasm, excitement, something that you get on events, music festivals, etc. And the entire lockup, we went with a typeface called Gilroy, and it's bold form because it's quite geometric. Like you can see the A is quite close to a circle, and the logo is more circular, not just geometric. The A has a circular ending, T has circular ending, but we went a little overboard and made a custom D and custom K that works more closely with the pictorial mark. This is exactly this, and this is exactly this, but since it's a watermark, it's in a proper direction, so that because readability matters, especially in watermark. If you're going with a watermark, besides looking good, besides serving a purpose of giving you an identity, etc., it's also very important for the people to be able to read the name without much hassle. And this was what the logo they had, and you can understand the obvious reasons for going with the rebranding, and you can notice the stark difference between this and this. Well, everyone starts at somewhere, and when we're just beginning, it's not practical, and if you have limited budget, it's more practical to put money into the business than on its branding. But once you have a budget, go with proper branding. It matters a lot. Public image matters a lot. A logo is the face of the company. And these are the various lockouts. This is a pictorial mark. There's a vertical lockout, and there are two horizontal lockouts to go with different scenarios. Like for example, this will work better in a website's nav bar, and this will work on some other elements like maybe on a banner, those kind of things. And you notice the use of this later on in the case study, and we'll go to that. And since the entire name is DreamKraft Entertainment, so we also made 3 variations with the word entertainment in it. And the variations of the logos and how they react with the elements, and always have a complete white and a complete black version of a logo, because as you can see, for example, in some this kind of background, a dark background, if we use the same logo, then it would not, some parts would be just mixed out with the background, and it won't serve the purpose of identifying your company, something that's the primary role of a logo. This is the color palette we went with. As you can see, it's very bright, very vivid, and very colorful, and in fact a bit saturated as well. The reason being, we do not want to convey something very corporate. We want something to convey something funny, something exciting, something that gives a vibe of enthusiasm. Which is why people go to events, and that's what we are trying to convey with logo, with the color palette of the brand palette as well. And as I mentioned earlier, we wanted to go with logo that has a high scope of being used as patterns. And you can, as you might be, in case you haven't noticed, let's go back to the mood board, where we listed something with patterns, something pattern that we can use in multiple ways, and hence this is the pattern we went with. There are some versions of the pattern. One's the obvious fully colored version, which has the exactly same colors as the logo, and we can also use the pattern in monochromes or dual chromes in selective colors. And beyond that, this is some of the uses that you will notice how we have used this. This is a billboard. This is just a mock-up billboard for checking out how the logo will work on billboards and with the pattern, because this is an event management company, and while doing a branding, you need to keep in mind where are the places that the logo will be mostly used at. And for an event management company, a billboard is a very common place for the logo to appear on, and that's what we wanted to try out with a mock-up, and I think it looks good. I mean, in fact, they liked this billboard mock-up so much that they just posted this in Google Map and some social media. Coming to social media is important for any brand today. It's like you need to have it, whether you do it right or not, and please do it right. And in their case, they want to start with the banner. And once again, as you can see, the color palette and the pattern has gone through an ample use. This is the LinkedIn banner, this is the Twitter banner, this is Facebook banner, and this is Twitter banner. And while designing banners and while getting your banners designed, makes you to keep in mind not just the aspect ratio of the banner itself, but the safe area of the banner. Like some parts of the banner will get covered by some other elements. For example, in LinkedIn, a major portion is taken by the logo, and also in Twitter, a part of the banner is taken by logo. It's mostly free in Facebook, but to maintain homogeneity between the channels, which is also something you need to keep in mind during your social media branding. And so these are the 7 main places they focus on, which is celebrity management, event management, wedding planning, advertisement, public relation, production, and some miscellaneous. And in the icons you can see that we went forward with our brand palette, and maintaining a palette is very important. And in the background, the pattern we have used, if you look closely, it's a photo of a music fest, sorry, in a color grade between the light yellow and white. So instead of using a solid color or just a pattern, we went with something that more symbolizes. And of course, it's not over the face because it's a background. It's not the primary element. The primary part is the logo. As I said, this horizontal lockup is for mostly for going with banners and all, as you can see here. Slogan, which is turning dreams into reality. DreamKraft and dreams into reality. Moving on. This is the brand guide, a small portion of the brand guide, and a brand guide is important for several reasons. Let's focus on one. Most design companies, etc., are not aware of the use of brand guide, so these will help you stay above the crowd, stay above your competitors, most of them, and this helps your client. If you're a designer, it helps the client to make the most out of the designs you've given them. This has detailed instructions how to use the designs, how to recreate some of them, etc. And in case you are the client, this will help. In case you are the brand itself who is getting the brand design done for, in your case, this once again it helps to maximize the designs you've got. It also helps to reproduce something that the branding agency, for example maybe ours, has done for you without involving the branding agency once again for something small. Suppose you have a business card and some new team member joins in and you just need another business card for him or whatever, and involving the branding agency just for one business card is impractical. So in that case, if you're going with someone cheaper or some like local designer, someone or some amateur or maybe in-house, then you need to be sure that that less talented person group, etc., the cheaper option doesn't fuck it up. And this will sharing this with them, the brand guide with them, will prevent them from fucking up, and that's something that's important. So this is basically the case study, and if you're interested in the detailed version of the case study, like beside this video, if you want to read it out, take notes, etc., then you can go to this link. I'll add the link in the description as well. And I hope this video is useful to you. I hope this will help you designers make better choices, make more informed decision for the next branding project, impress your clients, level up your game. And for brands and companies, I hope this will allow you to make more informed decisions for getting your branding does. And of course, you can just contact us as you feel like. I'll add the contact details in the description. And well, this is it for this episode. I hope to see when you do subscribe to the channel and hit the notification. There are already few videos on the channel, there will be more coming. And follow us on other social media platforms. Links in the description below. Hope to see you again in the next video. Till then, keep creating, stay above the crowd. And